peace and blessings. It's your girl Mocasso, and I'm super excited to be here for another town hall with the amazing Raw Dow. I know you guys see him looking beautiful up in those green apples. We have Shiva, Tiny, and Chai in the building. Everybody wave, do a move to everybody how excited you are to be here as well. Because you guys know every month we come and together to say how we did this month and what we've got planned for next month, and also what we have going on this entire season. Because as a DAO, just before we were getting recording, I was saying how important it is to stay mission driven and understanding what our purpose is for coming together. And we are helping those go physical to digital, and although we are helping people transition to digital, we also focus on that physical. And what does that look like for us? Well, we are different creators and artists and businesses in our own regards that have these want to be self-sufficient, right, in our own way in the physical, where we can be producing and providing for ourselves in the physical, and having our digital business be autonomous and sustainable for the next generations. And having that balance is important. While you see gardening club, right, because we're also showing people how to make your own food. And why that matters is because if you think about like a raw DAO, for example, and again, just wanting to start with a purpose and to remind people on how powerful a DAO is, because again, we're coming together for a greater mission. So imagine if we start now, like for example, charging for our workshops, right? One of our first workshops we were charging for, or monetizing in any kind of way, getting funding or anything that we could do to monetize the raw DAO in like years to come. Then we can go and buy land where all of the DAO members could live in an ecosystem that will be self-sustainable, where we have all our gardeners and educators in our own ecosystem in that kind of way. And I know in the beginning and throughout the middle, we kind of really talked about that, always played into mind when we were thinking about who we're collaborating with and how they can add to this ecosystem, understanding the way society is transforming, and how, having that village, even if you're not living, together, but having these different connections to help, is that powerful tool. And so just again, keeping that in mind and always trying to be that connection and help those, have a great physical environment while also building that digital dynasty as well in this digital sphere, especially at this time when we know this is a time for those to pioneer, and you're going to actually profit the most when you start in this early, because you're going to have that longevity and education and the tools to really make it worth it in the longevity. So with that being said, we've got a lot more to talk about. Just wanted to start on that purpose because that was on my heart as I was kind of condensing everything for this month and thinking about what we can continue to do, because y'all, we got a lot to do and we've been doing a lot of amazing things. So if you don't know, we just had the RAWfest last week, which was a way for us to come together and like really showcase everything that not only we're doing, but what all of the other creators in the space are doing, and having events that again continue to do that, because that's what we're all about, that adhesive and networking and showcasing that and not having to do it all. And so with that, we had the Women in the Metaverse panel, which was really amazing. You guys know every Monday we get together and have Women in the Metaverse, and it was really great to see a panel of women and a lot of others come together for that big event. And we also started our initiative where you actually got an NFT for coming, and it's going to be more of an exclusive club and network, in a sense of, now if you have this NFT, now you get access to the Women in the Metaverse environment. And with that environment, you can host your own events and also unlock it so that you can actually come in during the live recordings, which will now be token gated. And the way that we're going to do that is we will have two different spaces where we'll have kind of like a lounge, or like the treehouse, for example. So the treehouse will be an open space for Women in the Metaverse, where we will be streaming the actual live recording of the conversation from YouTube. So so you guys know we also stream on YouTube. So we'll have the YouTube actually streaming in the Clubhouse and a link for you to get your NFT as well. And we will be streaming in the exclusive space, and then once you get your NFT, then you can unlock it and make it in there. So it is going to still be a free airdrop. You just have to actually go to the Women in the Metaverse space, like I just said, to actually claim that NFT. Now, I did try to make it a little bit more autonomous by just making it a free mint on OpenSea. And it was so sad because I airdropped it to the 9 women that filled out the Google form from the Women in the Metaverse panel. And then somebody else literally minted all 90 of them for free on OpenSea and then relisted them for sale for $5. And I was like, what the heck is wrong with people? So I nipped that in the bud. I can't unmint it, unfortunately. There's no undo button on the blockchain. So it's just out there, which is going to be kind of interesting. So what I did was I actually reminted a new NFT that I had also made for Women in the Metaverse, airdropped it to the 9 women again, and just will continue to do the Google form. And again, you just have to actually go to the Women in the Metaverse lounge to fill out the Google form, and then you'll get airdropped the NFT to unlock the actual network space, which you can then again use for your own events and access the podcast live stream. So with that being said, we also have an initiative that we launched to commence that, which is our patches. Now, if you guys are OG watchers, which I've seen some of you, which I'm going to talk about when we get into the analytics, going back and watching previous episodes from way back when, and I love to see it. So if you've heard it and you've heard me talking about patches, which is something that I as Mocaso and the P2D network are kind of like focused on when it comes to accessories and the P2D merch and being able to connect accessories and NFTs and incentives all together, this is exactly what I'm talking about. So flipping my camera around, you can see here, this is actually a patch. Now it is extra enlarged, but this is a patch to show the Women in the Metaverse NFT. And so let me also flip my camera and start sharing this as well. So this is what the actual NFT looks like. It's named Lean On Me. And so, like I said, there are 9 holders currently. And I did also make a video to show how you can bring it into the space. It looks really nice. If you go to the Women in the Metaverse network space, you will see it already on the wall. And all those holders will actually be able to connect their wallet and bring it into the space as well. And it looks, like I said, really nice on there. But you can also have this amazing patch, which is a wearable that you can put on your avatar. And so we did have the High Creators do a Unity workshop showing how to customize your avatar, where I also had on a bucket hat. Now, I haven't actually connected my Unity to Spatial. That's where I kind of had to pause on the workshop because I had just downloaded Unity. But I've got the bucket hat on my avatar and just on that last step and going to bring it in. But I wanted to finish these patches because I'm going to put it on also and bring them all in so that you can see we have a patch right now for Women in the Metaverse. Also, we have a monthly event that we're going to commence that we'll talk about here in a moment called the RAWshowcase. And any artist that kind of presents during the RAWshowcase, they will also get that NFT that will unlock some of the P2D stages and also a patch to show that they are a holder and have that ability within those spaces. So as you guys can see how this is all connecting. And I know last month during our town hall, that was one of the things I was saying we really have to try to figure out when it comes to all these different things that we're doing, like how to connect them all so that it just makes sense and people understand, like, oh, you go to the event, you do this, you get that, and then you get to use that to use and unlock more within the community. Because it's not that complicated and it does make sense. It's just, we have to continue to show those examples. So super excited to show those examples there. Did anybody have any questions or thoughts about those patches or the NFTs? Like I said, we do have those right there. Also, the Raw DAO will have exclusive ones as well that they'll be minting from their own wallet, but that is going to come from us having to really outline our bylaws with what it means to be a core member, a collaborator, or a community member. Excuse me, so that once you get that NFT, you understand what that means as well. And then of course we would offer a patch to them, courtesy of P2D Raw Network, so that the Raw DAO can also continue to use that same model, since we have that connection, right, where we're all offering things to the DAO for the greater good in order to support this mission and show what that means. So that's something I think we should also start to iron out to help with our onboarding process, so that again people get that and understand what to continue to do and get encouraged to go continue to collect more patches, right? Because now we can even see, okay, well now maybe you can get a Fitness Friday patch if you attend the iDance Fitness Fridays that month, right? And then we can do something like that, or all different kind of things that we can do with connecting each other and incentives and all kind of things like that. So just think about that as you guys are continuing to look at your content, look at what you have going and how you're going to bring it all together. One thing on that note as well, I want to shift gears a bit to how we actually did last month with our RAWfest, because guys, we had an amazing turnout. People were still buying, or not even buying because the tickets were free, but people were still getting tickets on Eventbrite after all of the events were done. I'm like, what are you even still getting a ticket for? And it ended up being 75 tickets collected on Eventbrite from RAWfest. And from there I actually connected it to MailChimp and now have about 91 emails from all of the events that we've had from Eventbrite and 37 followers on Eventbrite, so that they will continue to be notified. And so with the MailChimp, what I'm going to do is send out a weekly newsletter. So if you guys remember back in the day, like I said, OG members on mirror.xyz, you know what, and we about to bring that back, because maybe I'll just kind of do it in a mirror.xyz and then attach the stuff from there, or something like that. But I would do a weekly recap on mirror.xyz, which is just kind of like an article. And now through MailChimp, I'll send that out so that people know all of the events that we have going on for that week, and it will include all of the links as well. So on Sundays, we will definitely have that in the Discord, event links in there. I know sometimes I've been dropping the link like the day of, because we're still shifting and changing, but because we want to have the content out to everyone and be able to access it without blowing you up too much, we'll make sure we have that on Sundays, and also so that we can streamline that social media, because I know that our amazing social media team again uses that information to reshare as well. And one of those things as we're going into our new month is going to just be focusing on sharing that content. But before we get into that, let's talk about how we did, right? So for the Raw 10 for this month, let's get into that first. So let me run over here real quick and get to the screen here so that you guys can see it. So this was from our April YouTube. Number one, which really surprised me, but it was the AI Twitter space from the RAWfest, which had over 100 views on Twitter. And it was a little disheartening though, because we've started a new trial and error with streaming where we have two laptops in two different areas, and the laptop that was streaming it actually had distorted the sound, so it actually doesn't sound great. And so, but without that though, we are going to continue to do that. So usually we do have our Twitter space just in Twitter, but now we will be streaming it in the Tribute every Wednesday as well when we have the Twitter space, so that if you want to watch it in spatial with us, we'll be streaming it so that we can continue to repost that content on all of our platforms, right? On Kick and YouTube and Rumble, and again wherever we want to repost it to continue to spread that message, because that's how we continue to again spread that message. So shout out to them. Then we have the Women in the Metaverse panel from the RAWfest speakers, the Raw Workshop custom avatar from the High creators, Fashion Friday from the Digital Fashion Collective. Actually was one of those that popped up that had got replayed back from March, but had caught in the algorithm, I guess. And then we had the Raw workshops from our special guest builder showing us how to build spaces. And then Women in the Metaverse as well from the P2D Raw Network, one of our episodes on April 10th. Men Talk from the RAWfest, hosted by X and DJ Straps. Living on Purpose, which was one of our new Rawcasts, actually, that premiered during RAWfest by Jazzy from Got Your Back. Then the Luminous Book Club from RAWfest as well, and the Raw Garden Club from Tiny Creates at the beginning of the month, the April episode. And so I'm really excited about that. And then also here is the podcast ones where you guys can see that. And why that matters, because, you know, I know with the podcast, again, you guys think like, again, about sharing it, but let me show you guys something that really excited me, because you guys can see the Raw 10 there, and if you can't see it, I will actually start reposting it. I don't know why I haven't actually posted it on social media before, but I will actually post it on social media so I can actually tag people that one as well, or not one, but just, you know, tag people. I think that would be something that would be cool. But let me show you guys something. So looking at our analytics, right? Because that is something that is really important. So let me share this tab. So last week when I had posted, I'm like, okay, we were at 591 plays right here. We were at 591 plays, and I'm like, okay, I had just had a goal to hit 500 plays at the end of December, and we were just about to hit 600. So I'm like, okay, you know, we kind of got to try to ramp up these plays somehow, because, you know, we got 100 over about 4 months. But again, it's because there hasn't been that advertising or focus to go listen to the podcast. So like I said before, last week, I'm like, okay, we're at 590, but for the sake of the algorithm, there were 664 plays all of a sudden, and all of a sudden a 61 size audience in the last 71 days. And in that audience, so I can see here like what people have been listening to, right? So on April 28th, few people listened to a Fashion Friday, a Moms in Crypto, and these Mental Health times Web3 with the Spirit Ute DAO. Before that, we had a few more Fashion Friday listens, Mom in Crypto. And that was 20 plays of people listening to that on the 27th, like randomly. Again, some more random Fashion Fridays, some more random Moms in Crypto from back in the day, you know? And so that, again, is where you guys see that matters, right? Like I always say, when you're making this content, people are going to listen to one and want to go listen to more, right? That's probably the same audience that's now going to listen to 2 episodes, and as soon as they do that, now the algorithm is going to go promote that to somebody else and say, hey, this person liked that, so you'll probably like that as well. And also something when it comes to the content, let me share this tab as well, which is on the YouTube, because usually I pick out just our network creators. But one thing I will say about the P2D network is my how-to videos, like I tell you guys, still always are the ones that are getting me hundreds of views each month. How to use a task bot, I made that on March 20th, 2022, over a year ago, and I still got 118 views this month. You know? And then again, we have that Twitter space, how to create a Ready Player Me, how to do this texture, how to schedule in Discord, how to start using pre-made, you know, avatars. Again, those how-to videos are what really help, again, with that algorithm when you're thinking about how to help create content that will boost your algorithm, right? So I just wanted to share those analytics when we actually talked about the top 10, because again, like I said, I know we're all content creators in our own ways and just coming together to help as we can, which is why I say, hey, here's what I can offer and how we can connect. So let y'all know, let me know what we can do, and let's get it done. And you guys always have your own ideas as well. And anybody that's listening, that's what it's all about. And you've seen our collaborators like I Am Kush come and do a whole proposal and us execute, and now our NFT holders, and on the Wonderverse board and doing what we do. So Tiny, I said I'll get this week's events right in after this meeting. Perfect. On that note though, Tiny, what I'm thinking is what I would love to see, because I know we get the whole month done at this time, and I did add a few events, but I want to talk about them here today, and we'll kind of ask Kush if he has any that wants to be added on the calendar as well, other than Dope Docs. But I think you should make the weekly ones all right now too. Remember how we used to kind of like batch create, since you already know what's going to happen the whole month anyways, and then you can tweak it from there if you need to, but at least it's just all out the way. So that way we can have that done and then tweak it if you need to, and then just kind of, get back to more things like that, like doing what we can and then tweaking as we go to kind of help this stuff a little bit. But I know social media team said we're going to have our conversation after this, which would not be recorded, or during the town hall, so make sure you guys hang out, and then we'll chit chat, because that's all that stuff that we'll definitely be chit chatting about in more detail. But I'm glad we all on the same page with that, right, with that promo. So with that, this month's event, so we talked about how we did last month. We seen what worked really great. One of the things that I was thinking is, what did we do when we first started coming into Spatial? Well, one of the first things we did was every Friday we would have a Raw showcase where we would play all of the different shows from all the different creators and watch it in there, right? And then we would have a my mind is blanking right now. Well, the Raw showcase, that was one of those things that were really important. And then we started again collaborating and doing different things. So what are some of the things that we can do to bring back in order to keep doing that I think worked well during the RAWfest? Is a monthly event, which will be kind of like, I think, what would be cool to do is have it at the end of every month, and then have a workshop. A workshop. That was what I was going to say. Having a workshop too, if you guys remember again in the beginning of Spatial, that's where even how you just seen one of those videos on YouTube that's still being played, the how to make a pattern, that was one of those workshops here in Spatial where Tanya came in every single week, and it was like a month long, but every week we learned one thing about how to do it, so that you learned how to create a pattern over 4 weeks, and it's 4 different videos, and you see still getting plays even though we recorded all the way then, because people are still looking for that content, and she's now still putting that out there. So again, you kind of see how that's all connected in that sense. But those raw workshops, because again, that's where we also even got a lot of people interested from the outside into what we were doing inside. Like, oh, they are educating. A lot of people, always say we're providing those tools that are really helpful, whether you're there in the present or watching a replay. Wherever you hear us, you're going to get something of substance. So we want to see what we can do to continue to provide that. And I think having a monthly event, that is something that, again, we've been doing. We've seen what kind of works and how we can do better is how we can, do that. So at the end of each month, having a Raw workshop and a Raw showcase. Now in the Raw showcase, I want you guys to think like Showtime at the Apollo. Like, it can be anything. You can come and present a song, you could present a poem, you can present a piece of art and tell us about it. You could show a dance. If Shiva, show your dance NFT, we already could get the whole production popping. Maybe you want to showcase a new anything, anything that somebody wants to showcase like they would at the Apollo. That's what the Raw showcase is all about. And maybe it can even be a pitch if somebody wants to showcase the NFT project, kind of like a show space too, in a sense, where you can, or maybe you have a new episode or something that you think is really dope and you want people to watch, and you've got a trailer, right, like a 2-minute trailer. So you're like, oh, I want to showcase this 2-minute trailer. Boom, here's the link to go watch the whole episode while you got a whole bunch of people there and looking for that kind of content, and we can do that. So the Raw Showcase is something that I think we could do at the end of every month, and then like I said, a Raw workshop. And so I'm gonna put I guess a proposal out to see like yay or nay what you guys think about that. And then if so, we'll kind of get that rolling. I know it is already April 30th, so if so, we can set a date. I know with the high creators, when they did the workshop for the hat, they said the next workshop that they'll actually do will be how to show you how to do custom moves. I know y'all heard me just say that, custom moves. Yes, how to do your own, like, oh, Shiva, you already know. You got your dance moves and you can already get it done there. Or any of us, right? China, you got your Valon. You can show somebody looking like they doing hair now, right? And doing your own things and all kind of different things we could get creative with. So really excited about that. And they said they're already down, so it's just a matter again about picking a date. And I think if we brand it again accordingly to say, hey, this is something we're going to keep doing every month, I can start the Eventbrite link now so that people have the entire month to get a free ticket, to get details for where to meet us, to come for this workshop. And again, we're collecting more emails to add to that MailChimp to say, hey, well, in the meantime, we've got all these events happening each all week. If you want to stop by, come on by, right? So that will include everything that we do each week. We'll include that weekly flyer that we were just talking about, and all the links for all the spaces for each person's events, Patreon links for anything that's token gated, links to get your free NFT if you need to, things of that nature, where again you can token gate your events and people can get their NFT beforehand, and you can start strategizing how you can kind of do that. So, and I kind of keep reinforcing that because again, I want to give all of this food for thought to everybody that's listening, for how you can use the tools that we're using here within the Raw DAO for your content, and then connect it with the entire DAO again. So did anybody have any thoughts, questions, concerns about any of the events that we've had? Any ideas about the monthly events? Anything about how anything has gone so far? I know I've kind of said a mouthful, but hey, like I go fair warning y'all, like, hey, we got a lot to talk about, and we done talked about a lot already. Patches, NFTs for coming to the stuff, token getting the events. Like, you gotta have the NFT to even be in the recording. But it's because we've all had events now, and we all know that frustrating moment when somebody's crashing your event. And then it kind of becomes obnoxious at that point, right? And the NFT and the metaverse is just going to continue to grow. And so again, when we say, hey, we want to go to network TV and be taken serious as a Web3 business and as a Raw DAO that's doing things in a different manner, we have to be setting that precedence, right? We see other businesses adding points to their business structure every single day. Every day, Tiny's sending me a new business. Like, look at this business adding points. Look at this business adding points. And it's like, we understand this is where people's heading, and we just have to keep putting it in people's faces that, hey, we're doing it too, and you can be a part of doing that as well, and educating people how to do that. So I'm definitely going to be dropping more how-to content, like I always say, on actually how to get connected and plugged in to help streamline that process. But I just encourage you guys to do the same. As you're creating this content, educate your people on what you're doing. Show them clips of what you've already done. Show them clips of what you have coming up. Show them clips on how to go get that NFT, what that looks like, the behind the scenes, the physical, the digital. Be educating in that content. And so I was just kind of trying to ramble on to give anybody a minute to type in the chat, but I ain't seen Nathan pop up. So we're just going to move on then to the last thing, which I really want to, or two things. Okay, wait, let me see. So I talked about token getty events for the streaming. Oh, okay, because I did have a few more things to talk about. So for the NFTs, one more thing for the NFTs, I have something exciting. Let me get my Canva pulled up here again. Y'all know we do everything on Canva. And so I actually made these for the people that I was able to catch at the RAWfest. And this is another NFT that you will get once you are actually a member of the P2G Raw network, which you all are. So let me share this tab instead so you guys can see it. So this will be like, so this will be like the general NFT, right? So this will be, say if you don't have an exclusive NFT for your own space, but it's just like, hey, if you're in the Raw ecosystem, every single person that officially like joins or comes to the event of the Raw ecosystem will get this NFT, right? Which will have their name and the season that they joined. And so as you see, these are just some of the pictures that I snapped at the RAWfest. So Shiva and Chai, make sure you see me before you leave today so I can take a picture of you as well and get yours on there. And then we'll continue to do that. Like I said, these are just some of the few people I got at one of the first events we had, like a pre-event actually, which was really cool, and I was able to do that. And so that's something we'll continue to do, right? Trying to get people really plugged into our ecosystem. And so they will get this NFT once they've joined like the Wonder board, right? It's like, okay, once you're on the Wonder board and you have you know how to get your points and you know how to, you know, go and get that in your setup, then you'll get this NFT and that'll be your first patch. Now go keep getting points and keep collecting. And so one thing I will also want to say with that is, again, the onboarding process. So you guys know, if we're not having this town hall on Sunday, we're going to keep having onboarding on Sundays at noon. And it's, again, something I want to continue to advertise a bit more pre-quill so that people know, hey, if I want to know how to go get my points, if I want to know what they got going on, let me go meet them. And I'm going to actually create like a presentation to go through the different steps so that, you know, I can do it a few times, but then people can kind of do it on their own. You know, maybe we can kind of create like a maze kind of event, or not a maze, but like a more like one of those things that you run through and you have to like obstacle course, right? So it's like, oh, jump over this, and then, you know, oh, now you got your NFT wallet or your ETH wallet, and so now give us your ETH address so we can actually give you the wallet, and, you know, different things like that we can kind of play with, or something to help gamify onboarding and having people do all the things to get plugged into the network and then get that so they can keep going. That is the goal. And so when you're thinking about people to collaborate with, I want you to think about people that would be interested in that, people that would want to come, be a part, and keep going, you know, or even if you just want to give them a little taste. But I definitely want to challenge everyone, and I think this should be a challenge within our ecosystem, is to bring one collaborator. We all have different shows, and I want to challenge us to bring a collaborator. Tiny, if that means rolling out your P2D mall makeover show with your mall, or maybe you'll pause that because you're going to kind of bring the mall revamp and maybe bring that part of the relaunch or something. But something, or you're already doing it with the high. Well, the high creators kind of just got plugged in, but I like how you plug them into the Raw Garden Club, because that's also one of the things we were saying, which is when you do see somebody come into the ecosystem, plug them into what you're doing if you can too, so that they again feel plugged into the ecosystem. So you'll still get a point for that, but I challenge you to still bring in somebody else for the replay. If somebody that doesn't come, you know, try to get them in there or something, whatever you want to do. I'm challenging everyone to bring one person, whether that's for an interview, which would be the most ideal so that they can then bring their audience, but try to bring in one person for something. And so let's see here. I see people in the chat, so let me read it here. I see Tiny said, I love the showcase. We need a comedy show soon. Yes, that's definitely something we've been talking about too. I agree with that. And I think from there, like a comedian standpoint, it will be easier place to put their work out there without having to stand out in front of live people. I think that's a great idea. So maybe we can do it like I want to say maybe at the same time, you know, it starts out with a few presentations, maybe a little comedy show after or something of that nature, or maybe it can alternate. I don't know, to kind of think about how we want to put it out there, but at least we put it out there. Again, to really figure that out. Chai says, Tiny, this is so cool. I would love to be on hands with this. A comedy show like Wildin' Out would be so cool. Okay, Chai. There we go, right? Wildin' Out type vibes, okay? because again, that's where again we can bring in more people, right? At that point, it's like you said, go get these all these Instagram comedians that are trying to be funny, be like, hey yo, I got this show in the metaverse where you could be, it's like wilding out, and it's gonna be funny, it's gonna be live stream, it's gonna be cool, and you know, you got avatars. Exactly. Talent acquisitions. Exactly, Chai. And Chai is saying that because if y'all miss Raw Talk, y'all be missing some good stuff, because we be talking about trending topics. And one of the things Tiny had dropped in the Raw Talk was one of the things, which was like the top 14 jobs that would be generated from AI. And one of them was talent acquisitions, or like a talent agent. So again, understanding how you can use these spaces, connect with talent, and again, be that connection, right? Where he said bring people in, because I'm telling you guys, that's where you also get the most support, where you look and see like, hey, how am I able to reach out to this person and reach out to that person and connect with them? It's because I offer that just because, right? So when I ask in return, it's just reciprocated, because it's also organic, right? And that's why I emphasize the importance of ecosystem in the beginning, because when you have a organic ecosystem, all that's understood, right? And there's an openness to do that, because you want to see everybody succeed. So Tiny says, are we going to do the comedy show? For sure, next month. I got someone in mind. Yes, for sure. Let's get it. Because what we can even do to that is do that as like a prequel, right? So if we're going to do the showcase at the end of the month, which would be like, say we do the Raw workshop the last Friday, which would be the 28th, maybe at like noon, and then Saturday have the Raw showcase that night, maybe after 6, after Shiva's event, if she has one that Saturday. So that could start at like 6, and I think that's also a good time on Spatial, especially for something like the Raw showcase, where it's like a late night TV show or late night vibe kind of thing, or you know, type vibe. And then Sunday we'll have the town hall, right? So that whole weekend we'll kind of be getting people. You got your workshop, now you got something fun, and then you can come to the town hall to see what else we got going on. And so the week before that, maybe we can do the comedy show to kind of get people excited. Like, okay, if you like that comedy show, we got a showcase where we got some more of that coming. So that will be aiming for April 15th. If we're going to plan something like that. Y'all know I like to try to lay out some outlines so we can get it going. So if y'all like that, you know, I think that will be cool. If you got different ideas, of course, put it out there as well, because I'm definitely open. I see Tiny says she's down. She's going to start on the flyer now. Perfect. Right, because at that point, that means we got to start getting others in here, right? Letting people know if you want to be a part of it, come into it. And it's ironic because actually, for the cohort that I'm a part of for Harlem Film House, I had to do casting for a show too. So that's kind of what we're doing, right? We are producers of these different shows, and we're casting different people to be on that. So kind of think of that nature when you're creating that flyer as well, Tiny, and say, yes, that we have all the time to send it out. Right, exactly, right? So you have time to send it out. We have time to promote. We have time to get it all organized. I'm with it. On that note as well, so I showed you guys the IDs. You understand how you get your ID, then you get your patch, then you keep going. Also, one thing I also wanted to mention was when it came to our weekly things is the weekly let out. Now I know last month I mentioned that being a goal as well, where we actually all come together and have like a quick little like, hey, here's what I have going on, here's what I have going on, and everybody can kind of do their own spiel when we talk about it, which again, you know, can be quick, where we just meet in 7th Odyssey, maybe start standing in the monthly calendar, walk to the weekly calendar, and then we walk around to everybody's own flyer, down whichever way, kind of talking in between about the event, what happens in that area, and then that'll be the weekly pregame, so that again, people see what's about to happen and can also meet us there if they want to talk to us, if they have questions about what we have going on for that event, right? Because maybe if we're going to have that comedy show, we can say, okay, meet us at the pregame on 7th Odyssey if you want to sign up, or if you have questions, right? Because we're about to have the event that week, and we can do that. And then that's something that the entire community, again, should be open to coming to even see, like, oh, we want to see what's about to happen this week. And so, you know, I think that would be cool to do live together. I know we had kind of talked all about that before. And so let me know what y'all think about that as well. Y'all know we be live at 5, which will be right before the Valon at 6, which again, so the aim for this would be like 15 minutes, like 30 minutes top, but we want it to be quick because this would also be what I would be sending in the weekly newsletter, right? So, or I guess I would send it beforehand, like, hey, come watch it, and then maybe that evening I'll send it out as well, or something of that nature. But it would be, again, to tell people to come to that, watch it, learn about it. And so that was one of the other things I wanted to mention, was definitely trying to get that weekly let out going. And what that would look like is I would definitely be there giving that spill on what's happening. And if you are having an event that week, I would encourage you to be there to talk about your event as well. We'll say that. So that's what that would look like. And so live at 5. Okay. Brainstorming, start promoting this month. Yes, exactly. And so I know there's a few events today. Harlem Film House has an event at 4, so I won't say let's start the live at 5 today, but well, yeah, because we still got to get this month together. So the goal is going to be to really get this week planned out, or our content for this month planned out this week, and then next Sunday on the 7th is where we'll really start, again, with the weekly updates, the emails. I'm going to send all the emails this week anyways with this town hall meeting. But next week it'll be the same thing with all the alerts, the weekly flyer, the information to go live at 5. And we'll start our live at 5 series, or the Raw pregame with everyone there. And so one last call. Did anybody have any questions, thoughts, or concerns about anything? Let me move my thing. Don't forget Mother's Day is Sunday. Okay, Mother's Day is Sunday Sunday the 16th. Okay. So we should have a Mother's Day something, or would that be weird? I feel like, I don't know. Sunday the 14th. Okay, I see. Sunday the 14th. I see. Okay, so I mean, that would be cool. Maybe what we can do is maybe we can set up like a space for mothers to showcase or event or visit or something like that, where maybe it's not like an event to like pull mothers away to be there, but just where they can kind of go explore if they want to in the meantime or something. Oh, so we don't plan stuff in the middle of the day. Exactly. Right, exactly. Oh, so you're saying no let out that day. I see. Okay, cool. So that'll be something we can do. So what we'll do then is we'll just have one on the 7th, and then at that nighttime, I'll probably still go live, and then if you guys can't make it, that's okay. If any mommies can't make it, that's okay. But I'll still be live at 5 that Sunday. And then, Chai, you said a meet and greet for mommies. Oh, that's a good idea. So maybe we can at least plan for Tiny. I know we already was doing that every third Monday was like moms in the metaverse instead, which ironically the 15th is that third Monday. So maybe we bring that back. Sounds great, gang. Perfect. Okay, cool. And that would be even better because like then that's not on Mother's Day. Like we said, it could just be in that space for women, which I think you were already building anyways, Tiny, that space for women. So maybe you could just, premiere it at that time, and that would be cool. Try to I know some moms. Hey, bring them in. Let them know we got the mommies meetup coming up May 15th. Okay, I'm here for it. So, and I think that's about it, guys. I really just want to talk about our mission, promoting all month. I think how we just, did that Mommies in the Metaverse for the third Monday, something, again, we had tried, can bring back and keep it going. even using this as a great promotion with Mother's Day, because that was one of the things we had said as well, is knowing what's happening and using that to our advantage for promotion as well as we're promoting all week. So keep that kind of stuff in mind as you're creating content as well, especially your events. We got the challenge. Everybody is challenged to bring in one person, ideally for an interview. I would love to see one interview featured from everybody's event throughout the month. May 15th is Moms in the Metaverse. What time? At 4 p.m. Pacific time. So it'll be at the normal Women in the Metaverse time, but it'll be in a different space curated by Tiny. Yes, ma'am. And then we'll also make sure we get that updated on the Wonder Board. I did also... Oh, I have one more thing. Let me see. I gotta get my charger. So, okay, one more big thing as well, because that was everything we've been doing, which was the main thing I wanted to say, y'all, which is we know what we've been doing and we gotta be hitting that. We did it and we got that down packed, so now we gotta be hitting it. Like we got it down, execute, do that extra step, get people in here now and be, getting it polished and expanding at that point. And from there, for our big event, though, I think this time last year, so season 1, we had a workshop. So it's kind of cool that this year for season 1, we had the same kind of like workshop RAWfest kind of thing. And so last year, season 2, we had a fashion show. So I'm thinking this year, the same spring season, we should have another fashion show, especially because you can bring your own custom avatars here into Spatial. So what I'm proposing, and we'll put an official proposal into Wonderverse for, is to have a fashion show here for the spring, for this season. And with that being said, there are only 2 months left in this season. It is already May and June. So the goal would be to have this in June, which would mean to start having this like planned now this month as well, and then promoting all of June. Hold on, let me go grab my charger. 2 seconds. It don't turn off on me. Okay, and then, so you guys may be thinking like, okay, Mo, so what you got for an idea for this talent show? Well, it's all about collaborations and, again, the connections that we have. Now, do y'all know any of our collaborators that have come to our digital fashion panels? Always open to collaborate in our Discord, active with trying to build their own network, and their business is creating templates for how to customize your own wearables on any kind of wearables. Now, if you don't know, the answer is Mod, which is one of our collaborators that we've been, like I said, collaborating with throughout different ways and looking for an opportunity on how to do this, And you guys have probably seen me and Amanda talking in different ways, where I was even trying to get an official partnership with Ready Player Me, but you have to, be more established, I guess, to be approved or something. But now that Spatial got custom wearables or custom avatars, you don't have to worry about going through Ready Player Me. We can still customize our own avatars, whether we want to put them here on the Ready Player Me avatar, or even at that point, if we want to design our own avatars and have their own wearables and do something different of that nature, right? But we can at least connect with Mod and create something like that. And then the cool thing about them is they create templates, right? So we can create a few different variations. Like with them, we were thinking of doing our like a jacket, right? And I don't want to say letterment because I feel like I've seen those before, but something of that nature, like something where we could put our patches, and again, it all comes together and makes sense. Or like a jean jacket or a biker jacket. That's what we had decided on. We were going to do nice biker jackets. But everybody kind of being able to design their own, right? Their own patterns, their own flares to it, their own things that they can kind of do to it, and then presenting in that way. And so maybe we can have a few templates that they create, and then everybody be able to customize and kind of go from there. And again, it be an entire production that we do. And so I will talk to Amanda, of course, to see how we can do that, where maybe it being a workshop, starting with a workshop where they explain it, we pick what kind of templates we want, showing the designers how to use it, the designers getting their textures, maybe getting a workshop from like someone like Stella to show you how to make a good texture, and then bringing your textures in. You guys see how I can think about collaborators and how I can plug them in to create this whole production, instead of saying, oh, I myself have to go and do all of this, where I can just think about the big picture and find pieces to plug this in to help educate everyone, and also showcase what these other people that I know are doing, because if people are doing that, they want to be showcased too. That's why they're more willing to collaborate and connect, because it also helps more people understand what they're doing as well. So that's what I would think would be a really great event for season 6, is having another fashion show, especially since the first one was cool. It'll be good to show, a new metaverse, but something still co-collaborated, co-creating it, and doing it all together. So I'll be putting that in Wonderverse for everybody to pitch their ideas, or even if you have your own other idea for an event for this season, you can feel free to drop it in that, section as well, where we can talk openly about it and everybody can vote accordingly, and we'll keep it moving from there. But that was why I also had the Wonder Board up, because that's one thing I wanted to talk about, is dropping that proposal, and everybody should vote on it accordingly. It'll be open for 1 week, so that way we can start executing if so. So, any last thoughts, questions, concerns? I'm watching the chat. I see Shiva said thank you, no problem. Otherwise, perfect. I haven't seen anybody drop in the chat yet. But yes, this has been a great meeting, guys. We talked about a lot of great things. Like I said, we talked about a lot of things that we've been doing, and how we can just keep doing that, and just keep doing it at the best we can, keep putting it out there. Like I said, I had a lot IRL, but this month is definitely focused on streaming you all's content, being present at all the events. You missed the last part after you got your charger because the baby woke up. Okay, perfect. Oh, it was about the fashion show. Dang, Tiny, you definitely I'm gonna send you the replay so you can watch that little bit and really hear the grand scheme of what I was saying there. So cool. Awesome. Well, then if nobody else had any thoughts, questions, or concerns about anything we talked about today, like I said, I appreciate everybody that is listening to the replay. You guys hear what we got playing, how it's going down. We'll be back next month to do it all again for another town hall. If you have your own proposals or ideas on how you would like to collaborate with the Raw DAO, please meet us here. We'll be here. The next one will be May 28th at noon Pacific time. So we'll be here, even if you just want to listen, share your thoughts, commune, or network, whatever you want to call it. That's what we'll be doing. So we'll catch you then. Peace.